The Boston Tea Party Timeline. An illustrated timeline of events on the Boston Tea Party. Written and illustrated by me, Sarah Addison. The British began to unfairly tax the colonists. One of the first taxes was the Sugar Act of 1764, which made colonists pay a tax on sugar. Parliament later repealed the Sugar Act in 1765, but then introduced a new act called the Stamp Act of 1765. The colonists were forced to pay a tax on printed documents like newspapers and playing cards, which upset the colonists. After protests and rage, the British Parliament stopped the Stamp Act in 1767. Still, they passed a new act called the Townshend Act of 1767. It required colonists to pay expensive taxes on all British goods. As a boycott, the colonists formed the Sons and Daughters of Liberty. The Daughters of Liberty helped by making clothes, newspapers, and food for the colonists. After lots of failure in protesting against taxes, the Boston Massacre took place in October 1768. The British would not give up. In 1773, the Parliament ratified the Tea Act of 1773. It made colonists buy only British tea, which the British put a large tax on. The colonists were infuriated and wanted the British to stop sending tea, but they refused and continued to ship the tea in spite of the violence over the taxes. In return, in Britain's refusal, 240 people dressed as Mohawk Indians raided 3 British ships with tea. They dumped 342 crates of tea off the ships and into Boston Harbor. The colonists only touched the tea. Nothing else on the ship was disturbed. The British closed the Boston Harbor after the Boston Tea Party occurred. They also banned town meetings in Boston in 1774. Also in 1774, the British Parliament ratified the Quartering Acts of 1774, known to the colonists as the Intolerable Acts. It required colonists to house and feed British soldiers, no matter how poor they were. The colonists had enough. The British ignored their previous actions, so in April 1775, the American Revolution began. The end.